Social media has a stigma of being absolutely awful. But I would like to counter-argue that. Yes, I would agree there are some very inappropriate and downright terrible channels, pages, and podcasts out there. But there are also some really great ones too. And today I want to highlight some of those really great ones. Of course, in my opinion. These are not just any old pages. These are nurses who have created these pages, podcasts, and channels. All of these channels are probably my most watched or listened to ones of 2023. But before we get into it, I do need to talk to you about Pretty Farm Girl. After I gave birth to my daughter, I noticed that my makeup was transferring onto her head. It was shiny. I was like, what is going on? And it concerned me because I had no idea what was even in my makeup. So that's when I started researching organic and natural cosmetics, which is when I came across Pretty Farm Girl. Pretty Farm Girl's products are organic and handmade here in the United States. I can feel confident using all of their natural products, but better yet, they actually have helped to nourish and clear up my skin. And y'all, postpartum skin can be a task to clear up. All my makeup that I'm currently wearing is from Pretty Farm Girl, besides my mascara. Two of my favorite products are their Fresh Face Cream. I use it every single day. And also their Tallow and Goat Milk Kefir Soap. Use the link in the description to get 10% off your order, or use code KATHERINEANNRN when you are checking out, and that is also for 10% off. But with all of that being said, let's get into today's video. First up, we have what I am awarding the Up and Coming Nurse Podcast YouTube and Instagram page. This goes to Nice Veins Bro. This channel is run by a husband and wife couple who are Christians, and they are just so stinking sweet. I was actually featured on their channel this year, which was so much fun to be a part of. They get into some controversial topics in the healthcare field, which I appreciate. Controversy is usually avoided in social media due to fear of getting canceled, demonetized, or maybe even fired from a job. So I commend Nice Veins Bro for being willing to talk about the hard topics. Now, this has been my #1 most listened to podcast since probably 2022. Cesily and Rita are the hosts of this podcast, and man, do they really get into controversial topics. They discuss culture, current events, religion, motherhood, homeschooling, and living a life of faithful intention. Now, Rita I definitely know is a nurse, and I'm pretty positive Cesily is too. Rita lives here in America while Cesily lives in Canada. And with the help of this podcast and through Rita's Instagram page, I stirred up the courage, of course with the Lord's help, and all praise to Him, to stand up for what I believe in. And I quit my job back in 2022 when I was not in agreement with what mandates were being put in place by my employer at that time. And that employer is one of the largest employers here in Atlanta, Georgia. So that was difficult for sure. Second to last, we have the nurse who I probably share the most posts from. This is Kelsey Roswell with the handle Whole Life Nurse. She has over 152,000 Instagram followers and is really helping nurses in their career and also helping them to find side hustles. What I like most about her channel is that she welcomes lots of comments and feedback in the comment section. So her posts and comment section are always a good read. Now, last up, and maybe the most controversial page that I follow on Instagram is that Unwoke Nurse. This nurse is not afraid to speak her mind, which I really appreciate. I may or may not agree with every post and maybe partially agree with some, but she talks about topics that are not usually brought up but need to be, in my opinion. In my 7 years of nursing experience and in personal experience, I have seen too many medical professionals share only one side of an argument. It is hard to come by a medical professional who will share pros and cons of medications, surgeries, or even routine procedures. As I grew in my career, I noticed this more and more, and I recently talked about this in a video titled "The Real Reason I Left Bedside applied nursing. After talking about all these channels, I can see a correlation in all the channels that I watch. All of these podcasts, Instagram page, YouTube channels that I listen to and watch all talk about controversial topics. And I must add that they do not always align with each other's views. I am so thankful that social media has allowed me to see the views of other nurses and bring to light issues that I may or may not have even ever thought about. Have you yourself ever thought of becoming a nurse influencer? Comment that down below too and tell me what you would want to talk about as a nurse influencer. But other than that, that is it for today's video, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in next week's video, which is the last full video of this year of 2023. So make sure you tune in because it's giving a little bit of a prequel into 2024.